Hello everybody and welcome. I played a fun little game recently. It was made by a small indie company by the name of Nintendo, and the game was called Super Mario Brothers. Oh, so you've heard of it? Of course you have. Mario is like the face of video games. The world of Super Mario Brothers is filled to the brim of fun and colorful characters and locations. So much, in fact, that it got me thinking, how big is the Super Mario world? No, not that one. I mean the planet where the games take place. Is it possible to find the size of the Mushroom Kingdom? I don't know, but it's not like that's gonna stop me from trying. So the first thing we're gonna need to find out is the force of gravity. Now, gravity seems to work a bit differently in Mario's world. Things don't necessarily accelerate the same way they do here on Earth. They just sort of drop, reaching terminal velocity almost instantaneously. So we're not gonna be using time to determine gravity. No, what we're gonna use is his jump height. From a standing position, Mario can jump just high enough to reach the top of a warp pipe. Now, for the sake of this video, I'm going to assume that Mario is just above average, being 6 feet tall and 200 pounds. Mario is 16 pixels tall, making each pixel about 4.5 inches. And the warp pipe that he jumps on top of is exactly 64 pixels tall, making Mario's standing jumping height 24 feet? No, seriously, 24 feet! Do you know how tall that is? That's about 8 feet taller than the average male giraffe. That's the same length as a standard boxing ring. Have you ever seen a U-Haul truck driving on the highway? Yeah, those are usually 24 feet long. My god, 24! 24! Alright, I'll calm down. The average jump height on Earth is about 16 to 20 inches, or about 1.5 feet. But this is Mario we're talking about, Jumpman. He's not going to be anywhere close to average. No, for this one, we're going to have to turn to the Guinness Book of World Records. The Guinness Book lists that the highest jump from a standing position came from Evan Ungar, a Canadian who jumped a height of 5 feet 3 inches. A far shot from 24, but still a phenomenal feat. Now, our friend Evan here is 5'10", so we're gonna have to scale him up just a tad bit as if he were 6 feet. And in doing so, we find that Mario's jump was about 4.44 times as tall as the tallest jump on Earth, meaning that Earth's gravitational force is 4.44 times as strong as Mario's. Plugging in Mario's weight in kilograms along with our gravitational acceleration divided by 4.44 tells us that the force applied onto Mario by his own gravity is 200.2373 newtons. So now that we have Mario's gravitational force, we need to use a new formula in order to find the size of his planet. And this is that formula. Yeah, I know what you're thinking. You expected numbers, didn't you? Well, actually, we know most of the numbers here. We just found F, and we know M1 is Mario's mass. As for G, that is actually known as the gravitational constant. Basically, G is just in place of a giant number, so we don't have to write it every time we want to use it. Putting all the values we already know turns this formula into this. Yeah, bet you wish we had the letters back, don't you? Well, we can't actually do anything with this since we still need to solve for both M2 and R. So we'll come back to this after we solve one of these variables. And to do so, we'll use the formula for density. P equals M over V. The P here stands for density, while M and V are the mass and volume, respectively, of the object we're trying to determine. In this case, the planet. And I'm going to assume that Mario's world is similar to Earth enough to have the same density, leaving us with just M and V. But I thought we were using M and R, not M and V. Well, you're right. But V is volume, which is actually another formula, 4 pi r cubed over 3. Multiplying by 3 and then dividing by 4 pi r cubed gives us this, a solution for M. And with this, we can bring that back to our big formula. With the answer we found just a minute ago, we can simply replace the other M. I bet Metroid fans wish it was that easy. So now we have a formula with only one variable, R. Now I just need to solve it. After some math and an unhealthy amount of rounding, I found that R is equal to 1.432 e to the 6th. What does that mean? Well, e just means times 10, so it's 1.432 times 10 to the 6th, or times 1 million. And with that, the distance between the center of the planet to the crust is a whopping 1,432,000 meters. Now, does that sound like a lot? Because guess what? In terms of planets, this is nothing. Let's put this into perspective. Our moon is 3.474 million meters in diameter, making it 600,000 meters longer than Planet Mario. And the Earth? It absolutely dwarfs the little planet, being 4.45 times its size. But that's only the half of it. If you've ever had a debate over the size of Godzilla, then you know what I'm about to talk about. You see, when you scale an object's size without also changing its density, while its height may double, its mass grows at a much higher exponential rate, since that's expanding in 3 dimensions instead of 1. You might think that the Mushroom Kingdom is small compared to other planets in size, but filling in the formula and solving for mass tells us that this planet is 6.773 e to the 22nd kilograms. That's not a whole lot when you see that our moon is 7.35 e to the 22 kilograms, and the Earth, 5.97 e to the 24th. That's a huge difference. The Earth would weigh over 88 times the little planet. Doesn't seem much like a Super Mario world, now does it? Although, that actually explains a lot of things in the Mario games. Falling, for example. Mario games have no falling damage. In this low gravity, Mario is able to fall from incredibly high areas without a scratch on him. And what about jumping out of water? You've seen the incredible video of Jaron Gilbert jumping onto land from his swimming pool, right? No issue for our little Italian plumber. Actually, one of the biggest issues Mario would face is his biggest strength. His ability to crush enemies by jumping on top of them. You remember the weight we used for Mario, right? 200 pounds. Well, that's how much Mario would weigh here on Earth. In the Mushroom Kingdom, Mario weighs just over 45 pounds. That's the weight of a 4-year-old. Having something this heavy land on you would certainly hurt, but it wouldn't be enough to crush a 6-foot-tall mushroom. Mario would probably bounce right off. Actually, Mario shouldn't be jumping over his enemies at all. He should be able to physically move them out of his way with no problem. Your everyday untrained person on Earth is able to lift, on average, 155 pounds. But in the Mushroom Kingdom, things weigh less. There, you would be able to lift what would on Earth weigh 688 pounds and 3 ounces. Mario should just be able to pick up the Goombas and Koopas and toss them over his shoulder, no problem. But what other superpowers would Mario have? Let me know down below in the comments what you think Mario would be able to do in this lower gravity. And hey, I've got a bunch of cool ideas for new videos, so while you're at it, let me know if you'd rather see a video on the mysterious diamond in Pokemon Sun and Moon, or the cultural backstory of Sand in Undertale. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll catch you all next time.